All right, let's take a look at what's happening in South Africa. Now we'll bring in Matt Kindiger, Associate Practice Lead, Sub-Saharan Africa and Frontier View in London. Great to have you.
Great, thanks for having me on the show today.
Yeah, so what does Zuma's imprisonment and subsequent unrest tell us about the country's political landscape?
Yeah, certainly. So there are a few things that these recent developments reveal about the landscape in South Africa. So, firstly, when we look at the Constitutional Court ruling, it's really quite a good sign regarding the impartiality of the courts and the rule of law in South Africa. It sends a very positive message to investors that even the former president of South Africa can be held to account. Secondly, the ruling. The recent policy changes announced by President Ramaphosa illustrate the greater political momentum that we are seeing behind sort of economic reform and a more reformist agenda. So that's another thing to bear in mind. But thirdly, I would say the unrest the unrest that has erupted in recent days really has shone a light on the tense climate within the ANC, and it's a very public manifestation of the conflict that's going on within the ANC between pro-Ramaphosa factions and pro-Zuma factions. What it means is this increases the risk, in our view, of a factional split within the ANC over the next couple of years. The timing is still very uncertain, but there is a risk of it happening. And this greatly complicates the outlook for the next election, which is going to take place in 2024. So certainly a couple of things to bear in mind and to monitor over the next couple of years.
All right, Matt, just hold on. Let's just take a look at this report on what's happening in South Africa.
It started yesterday around about this time, where residents started gathering outside. And I went to them and speak to them about actually what is it that they want. They said no, they want the president to be released. But to my surprise, it's not actually about Zuma. It doesn't come up like this. Is just a criminality, because now they started now damaging the shops, and eventually they targeted almost everything. Now I'm surprised that even the banks also they're being vandalized for what? Because if you damage a safe, what is it that they found? They found nothing in the safes, But really, the damage that is here is massive. Millions and millions of rands. That it's not going to recover anytime soon. But we'll see as time goes on how we're going to recover.
Are you engaging with the owners of all these businesses? What are they saying?
The owners of the businesses are actually at the moment they're worried. They're even afraid to come around, because as they can see on TV what is happening around, probably maybe from tomorrow and Thursday, they'll be coming out to come and assess. But at the moment, it's very, very tense and dangerous.
All right, Matt, that paints a picture right there. Businesses are suffering. But could the violence, derail President Ramaphosa's economic reforms?
Yeah, so this is a big question about what this means about the future for economic reforms in South Africa. So recently the government has has introduced quite a few significant economic reforms, including the privatization of South African Airways, the partial liberalization of the electricity generating sector. These are both reforms that are essential to get the economy off the ground, but also to ensure that businesses are convinced by the economic reforms taking place in South Africa. So in terms of what this unrest means, so it's probably going to result in a bit of a slowdown in the government's reform agenda. And this is because the government will have to take stock of what's happening within the ANC, and it will have to make sure that it is not alienating pro-Zuma factions within the ANC over the next 3 to 6 months. So we're not likely to see a reversal of reforms that have already been implemented, but we could see a slowdown or perhaps a significant delay to the economic reforms that have been planned. And this also includes things like consolidating public finances to ensure that they're much more stable after the COVID-19 pandemic. So certainly we are expecting things to move at a much slower pace as a result of these recent developments.
Much slower pace. All right, Matt, thank you so much for your time. Matt Kinniger is the Associate Practice Lead, SSA Frontier Views. Thank you so much.
Great, thanks very much.